because when I went to that studio to record mine, this guy, I mean, he had all the lights and the reflections and I don't know. So anyway, so I guess we can kind of start now. Judy, I want to welcome you. We have Judy Bralley this evening, and I know that you've worked hard on your story. I've heard parts of it, and I'm very excited to hear what you have to say this evening. So, welcome to you to Beyond Control, and uh, let's see, you're a member of, I guess, go ahead, you can tell us.
Unity North Atlanta
Perfect.
Church. In
Unity North
Marietta.
Carolina, and that's where we met. And so, without further ado, I'm really looking forward to it. Please go ahead.
All right. Well, I'll tell you, I'm just so honored and privileged to be able to share my spiritual story with you. And as I think about my spiritual journey to this point, I remind myself of who I once believed I was, where I had been, and what I have done that led me to know the truth of who I am and why I'm here. Believe it or not, I am one of those rare birds who was born in Atlanta, Georgia, and has lived in the metro Atlanta area almost my entire life. To begin with, I lived with my mother and my grandmother in her boarding house. My father was in the army, stationed in Italy, and my mother suffered from deep depression. So my grandmother was my sole caregiver and my best friend. I spent many nights curled up beside her as she sang me to sleep with old Southern folk songs and our very favorite, Jesus Loves Me. By the way, my brother and sister didn't come along for 4 and 11 years later. We lived a very simple, frugal lifestyle. Besides the income from her boarding house rentals, my grandmother took in clothing alterations and requests for new items. She also raised chickens for eggs and the other inevitable purpose. She was a great cook, and she canned everything that she could. Now, by this time, my father had come home, and he took a job at Bell South that we all now know as AT&T, as a lineman. He also joined our family at our church, Park Avenue Baptist Church. As a young child, I was taught that God and Jesus loved me and all the children of the world. When I was 18 months old, I sang Jesus Loves Me in big church. And it was a big church. I loved music and I loved God, and both grew with me. When I was in the 5th grade, my father became ordained as a Southern Baptist minister. But in my eyes, he might as well have been elected president of the United States. By age 12, my future was set in stone. It had been decided that I would be a church musician. I was told that I was put on the earth for one thing, and that was to praise and worship God in heaven with music and teach others to do the same. Simply put, it was who I was born to be. So it began. I studied music and church music at Georgia State College and Shorter College. Then for many decades of my adult life, I was always teaching somebody something, but it was always with music. I was a singer, choir director of several choirs, large and small, and a published composer. I became a music machine. And I couldn't think of my life without identifying myself with that label. Now, let's fast forward to the 1980s. I was thriving. My two children were grown and doing well. I was still immersed in that lifelong spiritual path. I also had a great job in middle management with a major cosmetics company in Macy's. Life seemed good. One day, I suddenly started experiencing scary changes in my vision. Next came debilitating fatigue and cognitive issues. I was referred to a neurologist, and the recurring symptoms were diagnosed as relapsing and remitting multiple sclerosis.
Oh,
The prognosis was grim and matter of fact. I was told that there was nothing much that the field of medicine could do for me at that time. I should just accept it, do the best I could. And my invisible symptoms would gradually progress and become very visible and include immobility. I would be in a wheelchair and totally disabled within 25 years. So sorry. My symptoms were especially cruel because they were all invisible. I was accused of malingering, meaning that I was just faking it, that I didn't have enough faith and I was not begging God hard enough to heal me. And all of that was spread throughout the entire church. I lost my job. I was labeled unemployable. Now, on top of all that, remember the music machine label I had allowed to define my true self? Now, I had to confront the fact that I had let my true self become lost in that label. Slowly but surely, a persistent urging from spirit that something was just not right became, I now believe that many of the things I was taught I had to believe, because that's what we believe, are not the truth of who I am and my true purpose. I stepped away from the only path I had followed with no idea what was ahead. My spiritual life was in shambles. My heart and soul were wandering in confusion, fear, and questioning, and just searching for a light. One day, my sister gave me a book written by Dr. Wayne Dyer, where he talked about the beliefs of and his love for his Unity Church in Hawaii. He embraced these 5 unity principles into his daily life, his writings, and his teachings. Number 1, there is only one power and one source in my life and in the universe, God. 2, God and I are one. You and God are one. And you and I are one. 3, I create my realities through my thoughts, feelings, and beliefs. 4, through affirmative prayer and meditation, I attune with the one. And number 5, the truth I know is the truth I live. My sister also said that if I wanted to know more about unity, there was a church really close to where we lived. A friend of hers had visited there and just loved it. In January of 2009, my husband Sam and I walked into Unity Church of Rockdale in Conyers. We visited a few times and joined. We were home. I knew that what I heard was that light of truth that I had been searching for. I quickly began to take classes. Myrtle Fillmore's Healing Letters was the first one. And by the way, she was the co-founder of Unity along with her husband, Charles. I was amazed by her self-healing 2-year path of recovery from tuberculosis. I was following Myrtle's teachings when I was assigned a new neurologist at the Shepherd MS Center. He encouraged me to be an equal partner in my care. He started noticing that my scans weren't getting any worse like they had been, and my symptoms were actually improving. He asked me what I was doing differently, and I told him about the path I was following, and especially Myrtle's teachings and practices. Being a deeply spiritual person, he was touched. First of all maintenance medications were stopped. My yearly MRIs were discontinued. Then my twice yearly in-person appointments became annual telemed chats.
Yay.
MS no longer has a claim on my life. I am free and I am unlimited. As my Unity journey continued, I had a hunger to learn all that I could from my spiritual growth. But additionally, I wanted to be able to live and share what I had learned and what I would learn accurately and with confidence. I completed the required 220-hour preliminary class hours. Then I enrolled in the extensive and intensive Licensed Unity Teacher Certification Program. That required 4 separate week-long trips to Unity Village in Lee Summit, Missouri. I received my certification with my focus on adult education in July of 2019. In Unity, I have always felt free to ask any questions I have. That's the exact opposite of what I experienced in my former traditional path, beginning when I was a teenager. I remember being in a class with a group of my friends, and at one point I stood up and asked a question that had been on my mind for a long time about heaven and hell, God and the devil. Suddenly and loudly, the teacher said, "Sit down and be quiet. You know what we believe, and that's what you have to believe if you are a Christian. And never ask a question like that again. And if you do, I will immediately go to your father and tell him exactly what you said. I wouldn't want to be you." That was the last time I ever asked a question about beliefs in a Baptist church. Oh, in Unity, I have learned so much about the same truths that William Dyer discovered for himself and many of the others, such as Jesus is our way shower, our elder brother, the great example for us to follow, not a person who wanted to be worshiped. Faith, that knowing that you know belief, despite all outer appearances. And I think this next one is the one that really touched me the most. We are not born as sinners. We are each born as a perfect creation in all that is in God's nature. Also, I have never been told what to believe and what not to believe, only encouraged to take the thoughts, words, and ideas that I heard into my heart and see how they resonate with me as I go through my daily life, or release them if they don't resonate with me. It's always my choice, and it's yours. In mid-November of 2022, we found out we had to move. Our landlord was selling our home. We couldn't find anything that suited us in Conyers. But with my daughter's help, we found the right and perfect place in Dallas, Georgia, in a nice and safe 55 plus active senior living community. Not only did we find the perfect place, but Spirit definitely arranged the scheduling of the move. At first, we were placed on a 1.5 year waiting list.
Mm.
The landlord wanted us out by December 31st. When my daughter explained our situation to the property manager, the waiting list disappeared. Next, she called the landlord and explained that the unit wouldn't be ready until January 11th. He agreed to the extension with a very reasonable fee. We moved in on January 11th. I had believed that Spirit is in, around everyone, everywhere, and everything from my very earliest Unity experiences. And that belief has continued to grow with me since then. Wait, here is the icing on the cake and the star on top of the Christmas tree. When we knew we were going to move to Dallas, of course, there was no question. Unity North Atlanta Church would be our new church home. I already knew several people there through my time as the Youth and Family Ministries Director at Unity Church of Rockdale. There is such a feeling of love and community. I felt welcomed and supported as I have had opportunities where I can expand my abilities and strengthen my weaknesses in ways I would have never imagined. Today, my life is shaped by my applying the basic truths I know and believe to my everyday life. My practice of faith and affirmative prayer are carried out even in the midst of the very most challenging circumstances. My heart is open to all that is mine to do at any given point. I want to shine the light of my true self in a way that will generate a spark in others to look for that same light of their truth for their lives, and then share it with others, and so on. I also do whatever shows up in my community as an opportunity to support my neighbors with whatever is needed. Now, you might ask me why I believe I went through what I did and what I believe was the larger lesson hidden in my journey. Well, I believe that it was all to uncover the error thinking that had ruled my entire life up until then and replace it with the light of truth I now live in. And what would I tell someone who is just beginning their journey? Don't be afraid to search for the light of your truth, even in your questioning, confusion, or even fear, releasing what no longer serves you. I found that light in a Unity church. So can you. And what encouragement and guidance might I give them? You are love. You are a perfect creation, a bright spark of all that is God's nature. Don't ever believe that you are alone. We're all one. Shine on. Don't let anything stop you. And that is my story.
Wow. Very, very, very nice. Very
Okay.
nice.
Very.
Thank you so much for sharing your journey with us and everyone. I mean, I guess I have a question, if that's okay.
Oh, yes.
Tell me, as you kind of went through the process of putting this together and What was that like?
It was very interesting, and because honestly, this story is a combination of two different stories that I
Sure.
had written before. It from the I had the name of that one was Who I Was Born to Be, and
Yeah.
then Free to Be Me was the part of the multiple sclerosis thing. So what I did is knowing what we needed to say, what I needed to say, knowing how to weave that together, and that took a little while.
Yes, it does.
Mhm.
And I applaud you. That's a difficult thing to do. And it's also very difficult, and it takes a lot of courage to step up and be willing to share what you just shared.
Mhm.
And that is something that I respect greatly for
Thank you.
anyone who's willing to do that.
Mhm.
And I just remember seeing you in church, I guess it was a week or two ago, with your, I want to get one of those
Mhm.
halos that you do. Where is that?
Wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a
You
minute.
have it? Yay. There you go. Now that's what I'm talking about. Beautiful, beautiful.
Oh my god, that was so much fun.
I learned so much from you this evening. For me, this is the way we learn and
Mhm.
the way that we can connect with each other. That as I relate to you and you relate to my story,
Mhm.
and the connection just keeps growing.
Yes.
So I just want to tell you, I thank you so much for doing this.
Mhm.
And I look forward to seeing you, hopefully, um, this next coming Sunday.
I will be there. Are there any other questions that you need to ask me
Well,
before we
I
sign
don't
off?
know. I found it quite interesting that, and I've seen this in other people where you have been, you had gotten a disease, MS, a very debilitating.
Mhm.
Uh, and my mind goes to the connection with God, the connection with um, the oneness that we all are,
Mhm.
and coupling that with your own faith and moving forward with conquering and what appears to me to be an incurable disease.
It
My
supposedly
mind,
is, don't you?
my mind goes to that's a walking miracle,
Yes, it is. Yes, it
and
is.
that's quite impressive
Yes.
for the individual, and it just shows you the power of the Almighty, I guess.
Mhm.
Just amazing, amazing things can occur when you're willing to open yourself to all the channels and to the oneness that we all are.
That's
We're all
right.
connected,
That's right. Yes, we are.
and
And it's
that's amazing. The
it,
other thing, I don't know if this is a question; it's more of an observation that the restriction that we have when we are in a church that is telling you what you should believe, what you should be, and planning your destiny is kind of I see the world breaking free from that. I see the world and people like you moving forward and finding their own destiny, their own journey, and being willing to step out of the confinement.
mhm.
And I see that as I guess, a pattern that is raising consciousness of humanity all over the world.
That's right. That's right.
And I, it's an amazing thing, and I'm glad to be a part of it. Glad to
Mhm.
be a part of your story.
Well, thank you. Thank you for the opportunity.
Oh, no, it's my pleasure.
I want to hear yours.
Well,
When's it gonna
yeah,
be ready?
well, it is. I have gotten it back, um,
Oh,
but there's some things in front of it that need to go out first. You'll probably be getting bits and pieces of it as it's coming out. And
Mhm.
yeah, I recorded another video today, and
All right.
you know, that should be, it's only a couple of minutes, but it's sort of preempting it, shall we say.
Okay. All right.
But yeah,
Good. I mean, all of the stories I have heard already, because I've listened to all of them on your
yeah,
website.
yeah,
It's like are amazing, just amazing. And
yeah.
I think
Go
it's
ahead.
so good to share all of those perspectives and all of those different stories because
Yeah,
each
I
one
mean,
of ours are different.
yeah, I mean, we learn from all different culture, all different.
Mhm, mhm,
I mean, it could be anything from addiction. It could be there's one Swami on there that had a similar path to you,
mhm,
being restricted in, I guess, traditional religion and so forth, and
mhm.
being and breaking free from that to become a Swami.
See?
And that's they're amazing.
Mhm.
And but
Well, that's wonderful. This is all wonderful.
and certainly if you have or know someone who's interested in doing this, uh, have them contact me. They can contact me through the website, or you have my phone number,
You're right.
and I'll be glad to work with them.
Okay.
I learn from this as much as the people
Mhm.
speaking.
Me too.
Yeah.
Well, do we want to do this, try one more try or
Oh, this
how
is perfect.
okay, okay.
No,
You like it?
you nailed it.
Okay. I didn't have a hammer though.
Well,
Okay. Are you sure? Okay, if you're sure. I
oh
think
yeah, absolutely.
I'm good.
It
I'm
doesn't get any better than that.
thank you so very much. This has been a wonderful experience for me.
Yeah, it just does not get any better than that. And
Okay.
I
All right.
thank you for your time, and I'm really looking forward to seeing you on Sunday.
I will be there, and I will see you there.
All right, maybe I'll
All right.
figure out how to work the video thing here a little better.
Okay.
Anyway,
All righty then. I appreciate you.
all right,
Okay.
thank you.
All right. Bye. Bye-bye.
Bye bye.